How's it going, YouTube? So today we are out here with my new Holland paperweight. Now this is a L783 skid steer that I got from auction, and they noted it was hard to start. Got there with Jarrett, figuring we're going to go ahead and get it to start, drive it up on the trailer. Did not happen. I did a YouTube short pulling it off the trailer, and a lot of other fun. Something else we found out while it was on the trailer is there looks to be a major hydraulic leak on that side of the skid steer, and just a lot of general fun to go over and try to fix. The rim looks a little messed up, tires look less than optimal. We'll see what happens, but our big problem at the moment is the engine barely turns over with a full battery. So the thought is there's something going on in the wiring, and we need to get the engine to start better. First thought was a bad ground, so we went ahead and actually bypassed this, did a different ground, didn't fix the issue. So the thought after that is probably something with the starter or the positive wire going to the starter. So the thought is if we can jump straight to the starter, we can see if it turns over better. If it does, great. If not, then we need to go back to the drawing board. Keep in mind, we also know this is bad, the manual primer pump. We will definitely replace that if we get this turning over better. Now, looking down in the bottom of this, there's a ton of gunk. So I do believe that at some point today, I am going to work on pulling off the bottom access panel and just getting a lot of that cleared out. But I kind of wanted to look around and see what we're looking at before we go ahead and try that route. Now, there's a couple labels here. Caution, switch must blank to hand prime engine. Don't know what that's supposed to say. And also have no idea what this is. Probably important to start with, but yeah, we don't have that. Also, this looks like it's some kind of maybe throttle actuator, but there is no discernible cables running to it. So all in all, I got something that is a lot of work, and I wasn't a bad price when it was running. Still not a bad price with the condition it's in if I can get it up and running for a fair amount of money. Couple key things to note. I tried to pull one of the bolts off the bottom, snapped it clean off, brought out the PB blaster, and I'm soaking all the bolts in the bottom of this because a couple of them I noticed are already snapped. Two, took an 11mm socket, pulled off the fuel filter, and here is the starter relay, which really looks rough. I mean, I don't know what this is. I don't know. I mean, I assume that's the signal, but with how grody that is, I mean, I'm sure that I'm being optimistic and way too hopeful, but maybe that's our problem. It's just bad connection right there with all this crud. And I know Jarrett was saying that we're gonna be spraying this whole thing down. We will. I would just like to try some simple things to get this running sooner rather than later. And then once we have it running, we can invest the time in cleaning it up, dealing with whatever leaks are going on, giving it the life it deserves, figuring out what that hydraulic leak is, and all the other fun that's going to come with owning one of these. I also noticed that over here, I'm not sure what this is, maybe it's vacuum operated, but this is the throttle, it looks like. However, I'm going to go ahead and try to get this cleaned up some. There's no battery currently in here, so there shouldn't be any charge in this system. Go ahead and just wipe this down for a little bit and see what we get. Maybe I'm missing something, so now I'm just hooking into the normal ground and the positive on the battery, and we'll try that. So that's about all I get. Little teeny tiny roll, not much. So I don't think we're getting anywhere. I went ahead and did a voltage drop test where I have my positive of my multimeter on the cable, put my negative on the positive of the starter, and use my little wire to try to start it. I'm seeing about 200 millivolts of drop, so 0.2 volts, which does not seem bad. Most cars I'm seeing it's about 500 millivolts is the allowed drop. Going to do the same test on the negative side. On the negative side, which I hook up to the negative terminal of the battery, and then I just put this onto the body of the starter. I'm seeing about 4 volts of drop, but I'm also seeing smoke here. So I wonder if these jumper cables are not able to do what I'm asking them to do. So I'm gonna go grab my larger set. So I'm now convinced that my battery cables were half of what I was fighting. That's about what we got at the auction place. A real slow spin over like that. So I think we're doing better-ish. Let me go ahead and we'll put this one back and make sure that we have the same response. I had a major breakthrough. Let me take you through what I did because a lot happened. First of all, I did a couple load tests. Everything looked like it was coming back okay. Tried to do it with the jumper cables. Could get it to turn over consistently slowly, but not quickly. I disconnected my fuel pump. This is the positive that runs to the fuel pump right there, because I did not want to burn out that pump if I'm not pulling fuel through it. I also spilled more oil than I got in the engine. It was a little low. Wanted to make sure we didn't seize up while trying to do this. And then I got the battery back in here, loosened these, cleaned them up really good, knocked them down, and check this out. That sounds like she's trying to start now. So we're getting somewhere. A couple things. Let's turn this to the on position, and now let's try. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys here, and I'm gonna try to hit it with some starter fluid. Try turning up the engine RPM. No different. I went ahead, came up here, and took this boot off the side. Sprayed starting fluid straight in that, so we're getting past the filter. She's trying. I don't necessarily like that noise it made though, so we'll see. I think we're getting to the point it might try to run. So now I'm gonna go ahead and hook up that fuel cable. Power to the fuel. Pretty sure that's dead, but we're gonna pump it just in case, because even though I know this is dead, I am pumping it because the auction also told me it was hard to start, which so far that's been proven true. It wants to go. Got a little closer to the engine by taking off this connector, and now I should be able to reach it from the bottom to shoot into the intake. So we're getting there. It's really, this is all hard pipe for the intake, so that's the closest I should be able to get right there. I also swapped back off of the push button up there, and I'm back on my red cord, so I can do everything from back here. Down the hatch. So close, so close. We're getting a lot closer. Sprayed some starter in it. Let's see. I thought I nearly had it.
Oh, heck yeah. So, I had to prime this with diesel, then bleed this out by cranking the engine. This is broken, but then it fired up. It did take me quite a while to get it, but yeah.
So my camera died partway through that last one, but it did start up, it did idle. But what I'm having happen is this little wire to the fuel pump is falling off. Oh, that's kind of hot. And it's stopping, so we're gonna have to fix that first. Let's see if we can. Looking here, I'm not exactly sure where. Right on that fitting, it looks like we have a pretty good hydraulic leak. The arm did go up, but then it slowly sinks down, presumably because of that leak there. I'm gonna call this a win. Got it running, but I bet, and we're gonna check, this is probably out of diesel again, which means it's not refilling out of the tank the way that it should. Once this is full, it'll run this out into the pump and pump properly, but let's confirm. Yeah, so once again, this is filled up to about here. I fill it fully up, so it runs until it pulls down through there. So I need to see why I might not be filling my filter back up. It could be a clog further up. Maybe it's the primer pump that's bad is doing it. Let me go ahead and fill it though. Topped off with fuel again. Topped off with diesel. Taking off the bleeder valve, or the bleeder screw. And we'll go ahead and run this until it pumps out of there. Which it already is, so. Let me go ahead and give it a little bit of a jump. It did move. You guys fell out of my lap. I think that's oil we spilled earlier, so I don't think the leak is in the forward-backward. I think the leak is in the, just the arm, which honestly is not what I was expecting, but I'm happy to hear it, and it makes sense because we lifted up on this some, and then we had a little bit of a leak on the trailer. But I was just thinking it was from the wheels rolling, getting loaded. We have to diagnose whatever is going on in the fuel system here that is only letting me run with what fuel is in it. I also noticed this left joystick sticks a little forward. So if I do that, we should be good. But it was trying to roll there again. Yep. And there it's trying to go. So we'll have to play with it some. But at this point, I think we can get it to run. Okay, so that's where we're going to go ahead and end off with the skid steer. We have it running. We know that it wants to move to some extent. We know that it has a leak in the hydraulic system, and we know that there's an issue with fuel supply, it seems like. So I think fuel supply is a good next video to mess with. This video has a lot of little pieces, so I don't really know how long we're going to be at so far, but I think it's a good spot to call it. Let me know what you guys think. This was a $2,800 machine, plus Jarrett and I drove about 2.5 hours away to go pick this up. And I have it running in, 3 or 4 hours of just kind of messing with it, and I've never worked on skid steers before. So it was definitely an experience. But go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, and please subscribe to keep seeing more.